Welcome back to the Hiding for Horrors podcast, where we review horror movies and horror franchises. I'm Mark,
I'm Tawan.
and today we're reviewing I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, released in 2006, written by Michael D. Weiss and directed by Sylvian White. Twan, can you give the people the plot summary?
A group of teens in Colorado who cover up a prank gone wrong that leads to a friend's death, and a year later they are stalked by a mysterious killer who knows their secret. As bodies pile up, they fight to discover who the murderer may be. But before we get into our movie, let's cover some Haddonfield headlines. This week we received the first trailer for the fourth and alleged final Conjuring movie called The Conjuring Last Rites. Um, as I just said, they are definitely hyping this one up as the last story or case that we're getting with the immediate Warrens. So, Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson as Ed and Elizabeth Warren. This is supposedly going to be their last story. The movie is coming out later this year on September 5th, and yeah, so this is going to be the last one. Now, I love the Conjuring series. Honestly, I like overall, I really like the Conjuring movies. I didn't really care for the most recent, The Devil Made Me Do It. I didn't really like the third one. And I really just feel that's due to losing James Wan as the director, and not really losing in a sense. He just has other shit going on. Like, he's a
That's
busy
that's
guy.
100% what it is. It didn't feel like a Conjuring movie because you didn't have the head of the Conjuring movies part of it. Like
Yeah.
it felt like something was off. It's kind of how I felt with some of the Saw movies. It's like once James and Lee left, it's like, it doesn't really feel like that franchise I started with. And not only that, the all the other cases that they covered with the Conjuring, with the first two Conjuring movies, they were kind of like low key, not well known cases. But then The Devil Made Me Do It was like highly publicized, documented case. And so like what they ended up doing just wasn't good enough.
hmm Yeah, and I don't know, I don't know what the maybe it's because the movie still made money or something like that, but I really don't know what the director of the current one, who's Michael Chavez, I don't know what he has on somebody at Warner Bros. To keep getting these directing duties, because you got to
Yeah,
keep in
I
mind he did The Curse of La Llorona, which was also pretty bad. Um, he did The Devil Made Me Do It. He also directed The Nun 2, and now he's directing this one. Like, why is he in charge? Is it just because they made money?
none of them hit.
Because they didn't really hit like the others. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, what he got on somebody at Warner Bros. To keep getting these gigs. Because it just, I'm not sure. I'm like, it has to be like the success of the movies, but we can
I
we can
think I
we can
think it
have a
is, but like
successful movie and
the quality
also
isn't the same.
yeah,
It's just I don't
and
know. I saw the
something missing.
trailer. I saw the trailer and I was kinda like, this looks good, but The Devil Made Me Do It trailer looked good, and that ended up being a shit show. So I'm hoping that since they're marketing this as like the last hurrah for the Warrens, I'm hoping that it actually ends up being good, that it's a tight script, that the directing is good because I don't want them to go out on a whimper. So many franchises
hmm
do that. Like I want them to just keep going strong. Like for me, those first two Conjuring entries were the best entries of the whole like Conjuring universe. Yeah, you had like some other good ones sprinkled in, but like none of his directorial movies were hits for me. Like I don't know, but I guess they gave it to him, so I guess we'll see. Did you enjoy the trailer at least?
I mean, I thought the trailer was fine. Like, with The Conjuring, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's like normie. It's like normie
It is.
horror,
It is.
but I hate saying that because it's still they still are good movies though. So some of the stuff
They
that was
are,
going
but
on.
they're not for the hardcore horror fans. It's for the normies. It's okay to say
Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird saying that. I don't like saying that all the time, but it is.
that.
It like they do give that energy of like if I tell someone to like put on like some like if, oh give me a horror recommendation or recommending The Conjuring if they don't really watch movies.
Yes,
So
yes.
in a way, in a sense, yes. So like it was kind of giving me that. Like I watched it, I was like, like it seems all right. Like I feel like I'm probably might get the same out of it. But the thing, which I think we said when we watched like all the movies, is that Ed and Lorraine, Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, they are the best parts of these movies. So just to see how this ends with them, like I'm okay with seeing that
Which
because
I'm excited too, but it also sucks because I enjoyed them popping up in Annabelle. I enjoy them popping up in like in like little bits of the Nun. Like I enjoyed them popping up in the other movies, like here and
I
there,
feel like
even though they weren't the main
depending,
focus.
yeah, I feel like depending how things go, they could still technically do that. That wouldn't be too much.
I mean, I feel like the only way they'll get Patrick if he's like, I gotta direct the next one, and depending on how they feel about his directing in that last Insidious movie, they may or may not give it to him.
I don't think. I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, like,
Because
just a little, like those scenes that we get, they're like Marvel post credit scenes. It's probably like a day, not even a day of shooting.
true, true, true,
Sometimes we
true.
just hear their voice.
Which I also enjoy. Like, just do that. I didn't want to say like seeing James Wan and like the behind the scenes like interviews and stuff. I was hoping it wasn't just like, oh yeah, it's the end of the franchise that I made. I was here to social support. Like I hope he was actually like part of the creative process. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't want to get my hopes up, but I hope that's what that signaled.
Only thing that I know that he actually had a little play in was doing some of the story, putting some of the story together and producing. But outside of that, nothing else. He didn't write the script or screenplay, nothing like that.
Damn, I was hoping he had some type. Okay, well, I
Yeah.
got too hopeful.
Yep. But moving along, we also received a trailer this week for The Long Walk, which is an original novel released years ago by Stephen King and has now been adapted. The synopsis of it is a contest where a group of young boys they enter to essentially, as the title says, to like walk. There is no finish line, but if they stop, they will be shot and killed.
It was like if
Now,
they stopped, if they got under a certain like
if
mile
they
per
got
hour, they
under
got
like a 3 miles per hour, I think.
like I saw mention of this like on online a couple weeks ago, but I thought it was just like some war movie. I didn't even know that Stephen King was a. I was what was I was on Tubi. No, I got subscriptions. I don't pay for. I don't got commercials. I don't see ads. But I was watching some super movie on Tubi, and the trailer popped up, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Because it started off. The trailer starts off like I thought it was just like some Vietnam War movie. Like they were just like they've been drafted, they was gearing up. But then like as the trailer went on, I was like, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. What the fuck is this? Like what's happening? And I'm intrigued. Based on the trailer alone, I'm intrigued. Like I don't know much. It's given what is it given? It's given the purge, like or like battle royale without the battling. It's just like I'm intrigued. As someone who loves to walk, this is like the perfect horror movie for me.
Yeah, the gays love to walk. Not me though. Not me though.
I
I'll
can
be
walk
smooth.
for a few miles.
um, yeah, so I'm also pretty intrigued. I really don't think I've heard of this particular story from Stephen King, so interested in seeing how that's going to play out. Um, the cast seems pretty good as well. I saw my boy David Johnson in there. We love him.
Yes,
Alien
yes.
Romulus fans rise.
Uh,
Um,
Industry. I love him from Industry.
that too. But once I saw that why am I forgetting? Was it Francis Lawrence was directing? I was like, wait,
Hmm.
I'm in it.
I
Because
was
for
sad.
those who don't know, Francis Lawrence, he is the director of pretty much all the Hunger Games movies, out of like Catching Fire onward, and those are some of the best YA novels like turned into
Yes.
movies.
The
And
the
he
best
did
adaptations he
amazing.
had.
Like we still talk about Catching Fire till today.
'Cause that movie is lit. No pun intended.
And I think like the concept, like once seeing the concept, I think he could do it. Like I don't know how it's gonna play out because I haven't, like I said, I haven't read the story, but I know he's a good director. Work and it's give the story gives like a YA novel type of thing anyway.
It
Like the
does.
concept, like it's giving something that would have came out around the Hunger Games time.
It's
So
also given dystopia because it's like
yeah,
this is the contest that they signed up for. So like, and like I think we saw cameras like there is being
hmm
televised. So like I like this is I don't know. It is rare that like something like this goes under the radar that like no like we don't really know what's it about. Because again, like you, I've never heard about the novel that Stephen King wrote. So like I'm gonna enjoy going in completely blind and being open to like this weird concept.
yep,
So I think we're gonna get some good kills from the trailer alone. Like that one black guy, his foot was completely broken, but he was still
yeah. That
like
was I
walking.
literally like winced up at that. I was like,
I did
ugh.
too. Like, and I can't wait to see it. You know, and you know this brings me back to the headlines of last week when we were talking about the article where they're like the oversaturation of horror movies. I'm just like, and it takes it back to like, yeah, we're getting a lot of horror movies, but they're all so uniquely different from each other. We're not getting bored. I haven't seen
Yeah.
a horror movie like this one, so it's like
Moving on again. Alien Earth is soon to be upon us. So, for those who are not aware, we will have a new TV show coming out this summer, titled Alien Earth. And as like the title says, it will be alien based in the Alien universe, but prior to even the first prior to the first Alien movie. Okay, so it's set 2 years before the events of the first movie.
okay, so it's after Prometheus. So this is
Yes.
like, so this is a prequel to Alien
hmm
and all those. Okay, so yeah, that's still good. You know, I do like what I like about the Alien franchise outside of other horror movie franchises is that they don't mess with the original continuity. They just add on to it. You know, they'll make a sequel that's like, oh, you know, part two is like 400 years in the future. Part three is 500 years after that. You know, we did the prequels, but the prequels are several hundred years before the first movie. So I do respect them for like not fucking with the continuity and taking anything out. And I do love that they just like add on. You know, I do respect it. We have so much like spread out time and space. Like you can
Yeah.
definitely throw another movie in the middle somewhere, which I love that with them. And I'm excited for this show.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because I will say, like, I am a big fan of watching TV. These days, I really do go to the movies or watch more movies than I do sit down and watch a TV show. That's just a me thing. But this show is going to be on FX, and FX always has some good ass shows.
The
Like a
FX
good,
on Hulu brand. I thought originally that brand was gonna be stupid, but they've been putting out some good shit.
they even before they was on Hulu, just on regular like just on
American Horror
cable.
Story,
Yeah,
Fargo,
regular.
yes.
Yeah, they were putting out bangers on there, and like let it be a mini series. FX give y'all has a good mini series.
Hmm.
Um, so I think it's going to be good. Also, I know it's attached with Hawley, who has also done some
Oh,
other stuff with FX, including the Fargo show, and
I loved
also
his Fallen Skies
Legion.
series on TNT.
Yeah, he also worked on Legion, which I liked as well on
Ooh, I
FX. That
love
was a good
that.
show. So I think we might get some good stuff. He's been attached to a lot of good TV shows and things like that. So I think this might be good. I don't think we've ever had an alien TV show to my knowledge.
We
Um,
haven't, and if this was a few years ago, like before the Chucky series, I'm like, ugh, no. I'm not a big fan of like I love when TV shows become movies and movies become TV shows and video games and all that shit, but like it rarely works out for horror to translate to one or the other. But like since the Chucky show, I've been like, there's room for some TV adaptations or continuations of these horror movies. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and I think it could work for this in particular. Like you mentioned earlier, it's before the first movie, and
Hmm.
since we in every movie we know Wayland Utani is up to some dumb shit, I could
Every
just
single time.
imagine what they was doing on Earth.
And Disney had better give them a budget to make that shit look good. Don't play with me, Disney.
Yeah, I think they might because even after the merger, the FX show's still been pretty Gucci.
Yeah,
So yeah,
they
that
got
I'm
this.
excited for it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time.
We may
Um,
or may not cover it. We'll see how it goes.
yeah, depending how it goes, I'll possibly do.
Okay.
Um, in the same kind of realm, a little bit. We already spoke about Predator Badlands, which will be releasing later this year, but there will be another Predator movie releasing this year called Predator Killer of Killers, and it will be a animated anthology movie. I think it's going to have four different stories within it.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that.
yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, I think there's going to be like four different stories in it, or it's going to be one of an anthology movie that they have planned out. Because I noticed I have read on in regards to it that um there are multiple stories planned for it since it is a little like anthology type of thing. So that sounds pretty interesting. It does still have the director who did Prey and Predator Badlands attached to it. Like he is, I know he's producer and he also directed some of the animation within it, like some of the animated stuff in it. So it probably still could be connected to his what he kind of sees for the like future of the series. Which I mean, Badlands looks like it's going to be good in different story. Prey was already good. And with how good a lot of animated stuff has been recently, especially like anthology wise, with things like Love, Death, and Robots and Secret Level, if you've seen that, um, I can
And
see
some
this
of the
working.
American produced stuff has been like the Terminator Zero anime was actually it looked really good and had a good story with it too. So like
Yeah,
I'm interested.
it seems like a lot of studios now are playing with different animation styles because I feel like for a longest like, everything kind of, not like it looked the same, but
It was
after
like
I feel like after
it was like a
Spider
one
Verse.
size fit all.
I feel like after Spider Verse, American like animation studios were like, "Oh wait, yeah, we could do whatever we want."
And I love that. I love that they can use their creativity because sometimes, not being handcuffed, you can get some great shit. And
Like,
we've been
have you
getting
watched
some good
Love, Death, and
anime.
Robots? Any of it?
Have it's really
Yeah,
fucking good.
really, yeah, good shit. Now that's new season for that's coming out soon in like a month or two.
I'm
So yeah,
excited, and I'm excited. I feel like we're in like this, this resurgence of both Alien and the Predator franchise.
hmm
At first we were either getting the two like team up movies or we were getting subpar Predator movie after Predator movie and no aliens. I love that, we got this little resurgence coming back.
yeah,
And I'm okay. I'm trying to fit in Predator for us to cover the Predator franchise. It's gonna happen one day. We gonna get there. Just
we
not this
shall.
year.
Next up, a release date confirmation for the next Evil Dead movie,
Ooh.
titled Evil Dead Burn. It will be released in July of 2026. Um, this will actually be the first of two Evil Dead movies coming soon. The second one, I has not had any information released on it, but Warner Bros. Has already stated that they have two in process. Evil Dead Burn will be the first one out, and it will be directed by Sebastian Vanacek. who had a movie come out. I believe this was either last year or the year before, named Infested, about spiders, and I hated it.
Oh,
Not hated it in
I
a it was bad
haven't
sense.
seen it
Hated
because
it.
I can't do spiders. I can't. I can't.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be honest. It's if he did that, let him have Evil Dead. It's gonna be nasty.
You know, I'm
Cause
excited because I haven't seen any Evil Dead movie, so I'm excited for any. I'm glad the franchise is still going.
yeah. So yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Cause yeah, that movie
I do
Infested.
know.
Mm-mm.
I do know also with Evil Dead news that they're gonna do an animated follow up to Ash versus the Evil Dead.
I was not aware of that actually.
Yeah, yeah, I do know that that's happening because Bruce Campbell is like, if y'all want me, I'm there, and I love that. So yeah, I know they're doing like an animated follow up to that, which I don't know where they're at in the development, but I do know that he agreed to do it
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that. I don't see why not.
because I heard Ash versus the Evil Dead was a good show on Stars.
Yeah, a lot of people have said it was good.
Yeah, I haven't watched it because I haven't seen any of the Evil Dead as of yet, but that's coming soon.
All right. And lastly, for Haddonfield headlines, we have Megan's spinoff movie titled Soulmate with the eight instead of an A for mate gets a January 2026 release date. So, Soulmate stars Lily Sullivan, who was in Evil Dead Rise, alongside Claudia Dumit, who played forgetting her character's name in The Boys. Um,
Is she the Asian lady who can't speak?
no, no, no. She is the worked for the government, was blowing up people's heads.
Oh, her, and she didn't become president. I know you're talking about though, yeah, because her
Yeah,
daughter,
her.
she has a
I'm
daughter.
forgetting. I don't know
Yeah,
why I'm blanking on her character's name,
I
but
can't think of her character's
yes,
name, but I knew
yeah,
she was popping heads. I do remember that.
yeah, her and the spinoff is being billed as a '90s style erotic thriller with a new technological twist.
Huh. That's different from what Megan is.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like in universe. I guess like the same company that made Megan makes this doll or whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, and it's gonna be like as Megan was another Blumhouse movie, January release. As Megan, the first one was a January release. You know, Blumhouse loves to put a movie in January to get the crowds
But
that
the
ain't seeing
sequel isn't
nothing.
coming out in Jan. And doesn't the sequel come out in like a few months?
Yeah, the sequel. I think the sequel they probably banking on that getting more money. Megan 2.0 comes out next month, actually.
Okay, yeah, we'll cover Megan at some point. We'll probably have him covered by the time Soulmate comes out, maybe, because I have opinions on Megan that I will keep until we review
Hmm.
it.
But that finishes up our Haddonfield headlines for today.
And with that, we're going to move on to I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, a sequel that went
Ugh.
direct to DVD and should have went direct into the draft, and whoever pitched it should have got fired and never worked in Hollywood again because, okay, my main gripe with this movie, first of all, it's set in Colorado and the fucking killer is a fisherman. That's the first strike. And the second strike, why is it the same fisherman? Why is his zombie stalking these kids he has nothing to do with? And outside of that, I just feel like it repeated the same sort of beats, and I wasn't impressed. This is my second time watching this movie. I watched it, I want to say 2008, 2009. It was just like, it was either on, do you remember that old horror, like that horror channel that used to be? What was it called? Damn.
Sci-fi?
No, back in the 2000s, up until
The
like 2001.
IFC channel?
It might have been, it wasn't IFC. It could have been. But there used to be like a horror only channel. I forgot what it was called, but like it played that movie one day and I watched it because I was like, oh, I know that was a third one. And I had regrets. And I had more regrets watching it this time. First of all, it's so fucking 2000. It's so 2006. I got so many flashbacks. I felt embarrassed just watching the clothes and shit. But then this movie is bad. But what are your thoughts? Oh, that's
um,
not good.
so I actually watched the whole movie. Now, so let's start from this. When we were first like even going about this, we were trying to find the movie. It isn't streaming anywhere. Red
And I
flag.
wasn't. We weren't gonna pay for
Red
it.
flag. Red flag already. And then I was like, okay, sometimes you may find it on YouTube. You may get lucky. It wasn't on YouTube. Why is the first one on YouTube and this one isn't for free? Second red flag. Now I found the movie through some memes and I watched it and I was like, oh my god. But I watched the whole thing while I was making some dinner and I was like, okay, let me see the kill count just for a little follow up before we do the show. And even James A. Janice, he encapsulated me watching the movie. Like he didn't even say, "Let's get to the kills" when the video was on. Like he was like, "This is all know, always know what you did last summer. All right, come on." He just said, "This is the kill." Like
He
he
was.
was so
He was
blue.
not. He was
He
not impressed.
he
He was
was
like,
so
"Fuck this
blown,
movie."
and I feel like because bro, what is this like? In addition to what Mark said, like, yeah, why are we in Colorado and there's a fisherman killer. It doesn't make sense. Like I get what the idea of them trying to do. Like the fisherman became such like a lore legend that it became real. I don't.
Yes, but
I get
he
it.
would be
I
a
get.
legend in that town, in that
Yes, I know. I know.
seaport
I know.
town.
No, I get it. I get it. I get that. That's what I'm saying. Like I could see that, like making some semblance of a story, but not here. If it was like not even if let's say it was like how this movie didn't take place in because was it like New England or something where they were the first
Hmm.
movie
Yeah,
like bro just put it like why you got to bring it to Colorado bro put their ass in like Seattle or some shit or
but
anywhere else with water.
there's so many fishing towns, and
I
like
know.
there are a bunch of fishing towns. They could have picked any fishing. It could have been a fishing town legend. Like we don't know what fishing town happened, and we just know the legend of the hook. It would have made
Yeah,
more sense.
exactly, like anywhere near a body of water. Like why are we on ski lifts talking about a guy with a fish hook?
Girl,
Like what are we doing? Like y'all don't piss me off, please don't piss me off. Like they were pissing me off this whole movie, and then it was so boring.
you
Like
know,
oh
opposite experiences. You like I watched the kill count first, and even though I've seen the movie before, like watching the kill count, I was like, wait, no, 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 no. This all sounds stupid. And then hearing him be like, this movie's fucking dumb. I was like, I think I actually have to watch this fucking movie because he's confused and fucked up. I can't get understand the movie from the kill count. So then I had to do some searchy search. I found the movie, and I was like, oh my god, this is dog shit. Like. I would have gotten more from reading the fucking Wikipedia because watching the movie, I was like, what am I watching? Why is the acting so bad? Why was this made? Like, why was this greenlit? This is not even worth straight to DVD.
yeah, it's not even worth the hard drive space to put it on Tubi. That's why it ain't on there.
Ain't no fucking word. But let's go over to the scenes. Were there any scenes that stood out for you? Good, bad, or indifferent? Like anything. Even a kill.
Mm, I want to know who moved the who moved the mattresses.
Okay, yeah, that I feel like that's who should have been. They should have been like, yes, that was an important part that was just left up in the air, never answered. 'Cause that was some petty shit.
Okay, so I'm right. It was never answered, right?
It was never answered in the movie. No,
Yeah, I'm so confused because I need to know who did it because what like it makes no sense.
and it's like, why y'all got this whole elaborate prank planned anyway? Like, like this not even. I said this is like y'all seniors in high school. This is y'all senior prank. But no, this is just a group of friends randomly doing some stupid ass prank. Like, you're pranking the entire town. What the fuck? and the music performance scenes. Like, if you had to dub old girl in every fucking music performance, don't include this in the fucking movie. Give her something else to aspire to be. Like,
Like, why couldn't she want to have been an actress or something? Like, I don't know.
y'all are already playing different beats from the first movie. You just made the bitch an actress like you did the like Sarah Michelle Gellar.
They could have said that she wanted to be a fucking model because the other friend was already a photographer.
Would have lined up.
But look, we're doing too much for them. Um. So yeah, that part not even seen. It's seen that's missing for that part. Like who moved the mattresses anyway, or the mats that the guy was supposed to fall on. Um. Let's see another scene. Not even okay. This isn't even. This is just a generalized thing throughout a lot of scenes of this movie. They must have watched like the first three Saw movies and were like, yes, this is how we want to edit.
The
Because
editing was so
why
rough.
were they editing like it was a Saw movie?
And not even that, some of the kills had that same like green hue. From like the
Yes.
second and third Saw movie, I was like, girl, please get your shit together. Please.
Like what are we doing? Like they really were like, okay, yeah, just watch Saws two, like one, two, or three. This is the editing style we want.
I do want to say, like, the one scene and the one kill that like kind of like made me mad because I felt like it was like useless. And also because it just like it didn't fit with the movie. That one guy who was going to kill himself. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that just didn't fit with the rest of the movie. Like, I got it. He had guilt. He had depression. Like, that would have fit in any other movie for me. It just didn't fit in this movie. I feel like this movie was so
It
bad
did.
that it didn't deserve that like big, like deep, like side story of him being so guilty he was gonna kill himself, and then just to have the hook come around and kill him when he was already gonna kill himself. I'm like, what are we doing here?
I think it story wise, it fits, but I gotta get what you mean. Like, I guess, like throughout the movie itself, it doesn't. Like story
Yeah.
wise, I could see it happening, but I get what you mean. Like, it doesn't really like fit the overall movie. Um,
It doesn't fit the tone of the movie. The
yeah,
movie doesn't even have a fucking tone. What am I talking about?
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, let's. Yeah,
That last scene I want to talk about is the ending. Cause like, what the fuck was that? Like you can't do a fake out scene in this movie when he's been doing supernatural shit the entire time. Like the whole confrontation with her on the fucking little like ski thingy. When he was in one and then she was in the other, then he just popped his ass on, he teleported on top of her, on top of her ski car. So like you can't do fake out daydreaming sequences when the killer's been supernatural this entire time. Cause like, was it actually him? Did he actually kill her in the end? Like it annoyed me. Like you can't do one. I get it. We had to fake out dream sequences in the first two movies, but he wasn't a fucking supernatural zombie at the end of those movies. He's a zombie in this. So you can't do that. But let's move on to the characters now. Originally, I was gonna have us talk about them individually, but they didn't really bring anything individually. So let's just talk about them as a whole. What are your thoughts on this cast of characters, Tom?
um, hmm.
Your long pause is why we're doing them all together in an individual. Because honestly, I don't have much to say about any of them. They were like cookie cutter, generic, like horror victims of the 2000s. You know, you got the
They were,
douchey blonde guy, the stuck up blonde chick. You have the wannabe aspiring famous friend. You have the outcast who doesn't feel good about what they did. Like it all just felt like you could have plopped them in a house of wax from 2005, and I would have known no different.
yeah, they just had they go girl give us nothing because I nothing was provided for me. Like Amber was so boring and wooden with her acting.
Girl.
Kobe. Like Kobe was boring as well. He the only thing I remember from him throughout his whole career is getting impaled in the high from Final Destination, and he gave a better performance in that 5 minute scene than this whole movie. Um,
I mean, it probably helped that he wasn't on screen for too long at Final Destination too. So
yeah, Zoe, why why in the scene where she died, what was the acting there? What was the choices made? It was so weird, that
was
scene
she
when she
boning?
died. Like what? I was so confused.
She shows her
Um
acting. So was the director when he was watching that shit. He should have said something. Like I don't know.
like
Like there was no
Lance,
one to latch onto.
yeah, like Lance, they were trying to make him like too much like he wasn't really even like a bad guy. Like, like not like a bad guy, but how they wanted like a bad boy type of vibe. But like he really wasn't even given that. He was given desperate for for Amber. Like every time he saw her, it's almost like he's want to be like, "You still fucking your old boyfriend? You still fucking your ex?" Oh no! And literally at the time, like right after she told him she did it, she wasn't anymore, and they were alone. He put the moves on her. Like, y'all not looking out for a killer right now. Like, sir, this is not the time.
It's
And then you
definitely
got
not. Like you
poor
can get your
Roger
rocks
here.
off somewhere like another time, please.
Exactly. Then you got poor Roger here who, like, no, they ain't checking up on each other or him, and he got to off himself and gets killed first by himself. Like, but he
That
was
poor
he was
guy.
he was being weird though in that one scene. When Amber and Zoe went to go see him, like riding on that whatever that little thing was he was on,
That was
like he
very
was,
suspicious.
yeah, he was being weird. I don't know why, like he was. And then you got, I know it was the two officers, the one who was the uncle or the dad, and then one who was like the officer into Amber. He was being weird. Like, why are you pushing up on this girl? And you like, oh yeah, I know you're home alone. Like blah 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 blah. Like, it, uh, what are you doing? And then the other officer
Facts.
who was the dad of PJ, who had died in the beginning, he was like, it really wasn't nothing wrong with him. I could see why he would be grieving. He lost his son, but they were being so weird about it to him. Like, I get they thought he was the killer, but y'all are responsible for his son dying because y'all wanted to peel a prank.
Facts.
And then lastly, fishermen. The fishermen, I don't. Hmm, yeah, I don't get why it had to be the fisherman. It could have been
It didn't need to
somebody.
be the fisherman. It could have literally been any other like person. Like they could have done what not I don't want to give praise to the fucking TV show, but like the TV show had a good like villain and a good like reason for the villain to be a villain, to be doing the killing. It didn't need I don't know. This movie it didn't need to be Ben Willis again. There was no
Bro,
need for that man to be this character.
I'm gonna be so honest. Like when you said the TV show, I forgot that there was a TV show for this. Like for this franchise for a second, I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? I'm like, is he talking about the Scream show? I forgot.
No.
I forgot about that whole TV show because I never watched it. I think I looked at the kills from it, and that was about it. But I never watched it, and it looks like nobody else wants us to watch it because they've been slowly like deleting all shit of it offline.
Including the episodes, which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
But yeah, it's like I could see this idea working, not for this franchise, but I
Mm-mm.
could see it working for something else.
It's like I don't know, not
But it's
this.
working even more because they're not in the same area.
Yeah, and
It
it's
makes
just
even
like
less sense.
this was a personal reason. He had valid reason to want to kill them people, but he had valid reasons. Well. Let's move on to the behind the scenes info and facts. Tuan, take it away.
So, for the behind the scenes info and facts, we have nothing to give you in regards to what this movie made or how much it cost to make it. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't much. That information is unknown. But an interesting fact, director Sylvian White was brought in as a last-minute replacement after the previous director, Joe Chappelle, was fired and thus had to cast the film, prep the locations, and devise the shooting schedule within just 2 weeks. That makes so much sense.
It kind of explains a lot.
And it
They
says
brought
White
somebody in last minute.
White did not use any CGI as he felt the gore looks much more realistic or practical effects. That part of the movie did look okay.
I will give them that. The kills did look decent. We didn't
Yeah.
talk about them a lot, but they looked good.
But also, I don't know what much CGI would have been used anyway, considering what was done. It was just like some throat
Facts.
slashes and some other stuff. Like, if you did use CGI at that point, then it was just being lazy.
Why you even
Currently,
directing at that point?
currently, this movie sits at an astounding, enormous 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't think any movie that we reviewed has a 0% before.
I let me go.
Because
Let me
even
comb in
that,
my
even
head.
even that horrible New Year's Eve movie that me and Elion reviewed, like that had at least like a what 5%.
Yeah, but yes. So as stated, 0% Rotten Tomatoes for critic score and a 20% audience score. Womp womp.
Well, enough about them. What about us? Did we cash or pass? I'll always know what you did last summer. Tuan.
Put this shit in the trash, bro. Put the fries in the bag to the whole
Yeah,
cast. Actually,
I mean, yeah. For me, it's also a pass. I mean, this is literally a cash or pass. This went direct to DVD, so I would have had to spend money to see it. And because it's not available for streaming, like readily available, and you have to fucking pay to watch it. No, it's a pass. Like this is literally a cash or pass for us, and it's a fucking pass. I would not pay to watch this movie. Wouldn't I didn't even want to watch the kill count for free. This movie is bad. Should never been made. And I'm glad it's gonna be. We're gonna. I'm glad the franchise isn't ending here, and we're getting another one to rectify that. So nice. But instead of us getting together next week to rank these three movies, we're going to hold off until we watch the new movie, and then we're going to come back and we're going to review that, and we're going to rank all four of them. You probably already know where this movie is going to land for everybody. But there are three others we have to rank. So, but for next week, we'll be moving on to The Companion, released earlier this year. I haven't seen it. I'm excited, but that's for next week. Until then, good night.
If you like this episode, please be sure to check out some from the Haddonfield Horror Cemetery, where we've covered big franchises such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Saw, or one-off reviews like The Blackening or Hereditary. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms, including Spotify, as well as YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is produced by Mark Smart, Tawan Griffin, and Elion Cordova, themed by Lethal Injection, and edited by Mark Smart.
The Haddonfield Horror Podcast is a Letter to Media production.
Should we do an intro?